Maybe it's over here. Look.
No.
Chapel, here it is. There's a sign.
Okay, uh-oh.
It's pointing down. What's God telling us?
Okay, hey folks, we got to get started here. Hey, we got somebody who's late. Hey, would you please find a seat? We are ready to roll the video.
Where are we gonna sit? Where are you gonna sit? Is there a seat up here? You guys got a seat up here? I'll sit over there.
Okay. All right, guys, let's roll the video. Junior, there's no audio.
Whether 5 couples are coming to your Art of Marriage event or 100 couples are coming, these are some guidelines to help your event be all that it can be.
Well, the first thing to do is get your team together and pray. Everything needs God's hand on it. So you bring the team together, you pray for each of them, and of course pray for the people that are coming as well as the logistics.
If you have a registration list, you can pray for them by name, but you don't know what they've been dealing with on the way in. You don't know if they've been struggling physically or with different issues at home.
And I would also pray for open hearts, minds, eyes, and ears for everyone coming, and that God would just do a mighty work in marriages and restore them.
Some are coming with great marriages and it's just going to be better, but some are coming in real crisis, and so you want to make sure that the Lord is invited and going to be transforming their marriage.
On the first night of the event, the host team really wants to set off with a positive start. You know, first impressions really matter. So when folks come, you want to be there to welcome them, to smile, to say you're happy you're there, and really go out of your way to make sure that they know this is special and you're excited to have them there.
The first night of the event, the host team really needs to make sure that they are just serving, that they're there to be welcoming, encouraging, informative, helpful, whatever they can do to make it a great experience for the couple coming. Have a registration table and people that are clearly there. Instead of being behind the table so that there's a barrier, be out in front of that table as you're welcoming the people and getting them signed up and registered. Point them to where the bathrooms are, let them know where childcare is if you're providing childcare, and then also helping them, maybe usher them into the room where they're going to be and just let them sit down and have a few minutes to collect themselves before the event starts.
Another thing you can tell people, if you have any issues during this whole conference, ask one of us. We'd be happy to keep serving you. Just setting that tone by practically letting them know you're here to serve them and they feel special because of it.
You also, though, want to make sure that you're not smothering them, that you give them some space and allow them as a couple to bond. As a team, you want to make sure you're always available to help. Just like when you go to a restaurant, you want the waiter to serve, to fill up your water cup just in time, but not ask every time you take a sip.
I think the main thing is just recognizing that you're serving them, you're there to serve them. There are multiple options for setting up the room in the lobby for your event, but you want to make sure that you have a registration table and that it's attractive. Maybe a tablecloth on it, some flowers, a lantern, whatever. Have it a sign on it so people know that that's what it is. Have friendly people at the table. Have everything you need on the table. The stacks of manuals, maybe some extra pens, list of the registration attendees so check-in is easy, and then maybe signs showing people where they need to go for childcare or bathrooms, and then the area where they're actually going to be for the conference.
When you're setting up your room, make sure the lighting is just right. Make sure it's not too dark so that you can't see the manuals that you're filling in, but not too bright that you feel uncomfortable. If there's chairs, set 2 chairs together and a little space between the next set of chairs. Or if there's tables, set 2 couples at each table. Just make it comfortable for the couples to be able to talk to each other.
It's fine if your chairs are stationary or if you have pews in your church. Just tell the people to kind of leave some space between one another as they get seated.
thing is a facilitator, hopefully a facilitator couple, because that makes both the men and women comfortable, and they get to see kind of a marriage being real in front of them. So a couple who's honest, who's transparent, who's real, who can laugh at themselves, tell a succinct story, that general sense of making it fun and being warm and welcoming people, that we really care that you're there, that's important in a facilitator couple.
You also want to, if at all possible, make sure that couple is not the pastor and his wife. This event was created to be leader-led, for someone from the church or the community just to lead it themselves and not add something else to the pastor's plate. And what an opportunity to be able to minister to the pastor and his wife and let them just take it all in and work on their own marriage.
And I think it might be good too if they're a prayerful couple, that even while they're doing it, they're kind of praying for the couples, and they just have a sense that God's in charge of this and we're serving Him. But they don't need to be entertainers, they don't need to be great speakers. They just need to be comfortable, welcoming, and do a good job flowing the program.
The best way for your event to flow well is following the leader's guide. There's a recommended schedule in the leader's guide for you. That can be tweaked for your setting, for your audience.
You want to make sure that you honor people's time and that you start and stop on time, but you don't want to ever appear hurried or rushed as you're going through it.
We want to make sure, though, that people are feeling relaxed and not hurried in this event, that they have time to connect, they have time to talk, and they don't have to feel like we're moving on to the next thing, but they can be real and just connect with the person they came with.
And to get people going again, you need to get them back in the room. And there's a good music and video interlude that winds down until the people are supposed to be back in the room.
When it comes time for the couple projects during the event, you want to make sure that there's room for them to kind of spread out a little bit and have some private time to work on those projects. Those projects are vital to the conference. And so if there's some other spots around, if you're in a church or if there's some other spots where you could direct them to, have thought that out in advance so you can direct them at that time.
Don't give 15 minutes when 30 minutes would be better.
This is a time for them to focus on their relationship. Some of them may not want other people hearing what is going on in their relationship, but this is the time they have to dedicate to discuss those things.
I tell the men, this is a great chance to lead, because the couples might be uncomfortable doing the project or something, or not sure. And so for the man leader, the man facilitator to say, guys, let's really take some leadership and make sure that you and your wife get to do this project fully, because there's so much you can gain from it.
If your team has a prayer team as part of the event, great thing to do is just to have a room somewhere where they can be praying throughout the event for all of the couples, everything that pertains to that event. Another great thing is to have prayer boxes that are maybe set up if there's the front of the stage, that the facilitator lets people know that they're there.
If they have a prayer need, they can write it down, it'll be confidential. You definitely want to make sure that your guests know that they're being prayed for. If a couple comes seeking counseling during the event, first you do want to pray with them. They have a need that they feel they need counseling for, so you want to pray with them right then and there. But the Art of Marriage isn't a counseling session. There is a time for that, and you need to be prepared to refer them either back to their home pastor and let them be the one who counsels them, or to a recommended Christian counselor in your area, and that way they get professional help for their needs. A lot of times they're looking for an answer that you can give them right there that'll fix their marriage, but many of those issues are things that a trained professional counseling can deal with them over a long period of time. Those problems didn't occur in the last 90 minutes, and they're not going to be solved in the next 90 seconds. They really do need ongoing professional help. So you've made it to the end of your event. Your attendees are excited. Hopefully their marriage is better now than when they first came in.
Or at least they're excited about making their marriage better.
Hey guys, good evening.
Hey, how are you?
Good,
Welcome to the Art of
Thank
Marriage.
you. I'm Jerry, Sarah.
Hi. Nice to meet you,
Nice to
Jeannie.
meet you.
Hey, Dempsey and
Dempsey.
Jeannie.
Sarah.
We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
You're
Good
going
to
to have
be
a
here.
great evening. We've got some manuals for you and some cards to fill out while you're in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's probably going to get started in about 15 minutes, so go ahead and find yourself a seat, make yourself comfortable, and make sure to stop by the snack table.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Have a great time.
Great evening.
Hey everybody, we're Jeff and Stacy Kemp, and we're your hosts for this Art of Marriage, and we're so excited you're here.
So let's take a look at the first session of the Art of Marriage.